you really need it. And if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I know it's been on your mind for a while, but to get what you really want can take some time. You gotta be focused now, don't play around, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear. And there ain't no stopping now. You're the one. Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. All right, let's get started here, folks. Okay, I'm just already reading the comments. Believe it or not, there's a whole stack of them here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll get to some questions a little bit later on. Good to have you all here. Okay. All right. Okay. Just to be clear, I'm not going to get into your individual situations. Okay. We're not going to teach you how to trade. We're not going to talk about your particular trades tonight. Obviously, it's sort of an overall, kind of an intro to trading here. We can review. And if you had some options you're sitting in, and we'll talk about them in the trading room in the morning. All right. Okay. We'll get into some questions. All right. Let's get started, folks. It is now 8:01. And good evening again. Welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's week in review, week ahead, intro to trading, however you want to call it. We can just sit back and chat for an hour and see what happens. Anyway, my name is Hugh. Aaron is probably not going to be with us today. Maybe he is. I don't know. Let me take a look, see if Aaron is on. Hello, Aaron. You're there. Hello, Aaron. How are you? Hello, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is.
Just running a couple minutes late. I had my daughter was distracting me with something here. So.
Yeah.
How you doing? How's everybody?
Great. Everything is really, really good. What's going on here today? It's just trying to think of. It's been an exciting day. It's an exciting weekend. Very, very warm. I mean, normally here at the end of September, we tend to. I mean, things get a little cool, then they get warmed up again, and but it's been warm like all the time. In fact, I guys still got the air on. And I know you guys down south, that's not a big deal to you, but up here in the North Country, it's you usually have the heat on already,
Yep.
But and I understand that the storms are pretty wild down if you're down south. Let me take a look and see what the storm situation is like today. I haven't pulled it up here. Just curious here. So let's see. I hope that if you're in that hurricane Helene or whatever we're tracking now, that you're safe and you've kind of hunkered down and whatever. I'm just kind of pulling that up here. Just curious to see where that's going here. You know what? I don't really want to waste a lot of time with this hurricane, but I'm sure somebody's going to chime in and say they lost power, they're back, or whatever. And anyway, all right, let's get moving, folks. My name is Hugh again, and Aaron. Today, this is the last session here of the month, September the 29th. One more day left, then we're into October. Yeah. I'm gonna be quiet here while you guys read this disclaimer. Give you a couple minutes. Actually, in about 20 seconds. And then we'll get started here. All right, you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I think you all know that, right? You all know that. So, all right, there's my my picture live and clear, and it's kind of a ratty shirt I got here today, Aaron. I'm not feeling very proper here today, but
Ratty, where's the mice? Is there any cheese? Is there any cheese out there?
don't say that too loud. My dog's in here. I had to pick her up earlier, and that's kind of why I got a little ratted out here. Just
Oh,
pick her from the back end. She's very heavy, and it doesn't help. We give her a lot of cookies. She ate a half thing of cookies today, and I don't know.
doesn't help. We give her a lot of cookies. Yeah.
We're making her fat, fattening her up. Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
yeah, we're gonna eat her. I keep threatening that we're gonna eat her. And now that's what people do, right? They eat cats and dogs. So they eat their pets.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
I always kid. Okay, so for those who don't know, I got this beautiful British Mountain Dog, Lucy. I think you'll probably see a picture of her in the next little while. And she's 12 years old, and I like to see she's on her last legs. Kind of true, literally. Her back legs are giving out, and I have to pick her up from the back and push her. And I saw a wheelchair for dogs the other day, and I thought, I gotta get this. I gotta get this. Just gotta convince my wife that it's a good deal because she's the one that's gonna say, well, wait a second. You're already spending a fortune on this dog, keeping her alive. At what point do we wrap it up? So no, this dog is gonna live forever. We're not gonna let her go. First of all, we paid a lot of money for her. We love her. We love her to pieces. She's part of the family, so you don't kill them off. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, folks, we have a questions box. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. So click on that. And Aaron and I are the only ones to see the questions. Now, I can't guarantee we're going to get to all your questions, but we certainly like to get to whatever we can. And I think I've already answered a few of them here. Somebody's been on vacation. I saw they're back. Yes, we had a little rough week. Anyway, we'll get to all of those in a little bit here. What's the future prospects for SPY is going to go higher? Just because it hit a high this week doesn't mean it can't go higher, right? It can still go higher, but that's Aaron's department. He is going to be showing you the long-term projections in our trading room as we do every morning. And we're going to talk about the trading room in a little bit. Right now, let's go on. All right, so meet your host. My name is Hugh. Learned most of the stuff here in the trenches. That's what I did for the last, I don't know how many years now, many years. I've been actually teaching this publicly now. We are just talking about this with Aaron a little while ago. I think about 15, we're in our 15th year or something. We are in our 15th year, since 2010. I've been trading a lot longer than that. That's just when I started sort of teaching people here. Started by accident when I started making some serious money and people paid attention. Said, okay, what are you doing? And now I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not as aggressive now as I was then. Where I traded 100 contracts at a time, years ago. I'm not doing that much right now. Once in a while I might, but not lately. So anyway, I look for short-term breakout trades, small, multiple times a day, scalps mostly. It's kind of what I enjoy. Aaron, on the other hand, I'm going to let you, Aaron, introduce yourself to these wonderful people we have online and tell them who you are. It's all yours.
Sure, of course. Yeah. My name is Aaron Stevens. I've been learning about the market and having market involvement for the last, I don't know, 28 years. I've been looking at different things with the market. Thank you. I started learning about the market as a teenager in middle school, reading the Wall Street Journal. I later opened up my first trading account. I was trading penny stocks. Then I took a break after the explosion of the market in 2000, 2001, implosion, I should say. Came back strong and started learning Forex in 2006, 2007. studied all the basic books on technical analysis and worked for several different firms. I have a Series 3 exam certification um, with the futures exam, as well as I'm a commodity trading advisor. And most recently, I was working for around $150 million fund at its height. It's a commodity pool operator based out of Virginia. So I was a technical analyst for them. I've been working with DayTradeSPY for about 2 years now. I love it. Love helping you guys learn about the markets, and I utilize a trend line, support resistance, Fibonacci, and Andrews pitchfork.
Sounds good. If your daughter is there, why don't you have her say hi to us? I'm sure we'd love to hear her talk, and I'm sure she's.
She's very shy. She's only 6 years old, so
Oh, wow.
yeah, she's very
Yeah,
shy.
right. She's shy. I hear her talk all the time. Come on. Just tell her to say hi. Anyway, well,
Can you
whatever.
say hi? Yeah, she's too shy to say.
Too shy, too shy. Okay. Uh, I'm sure, no doubt, you've already taught her about Fibonacci and Andrews pitchfork and all that stuff. You're teaching her that now, right? She's no doubt
Uh,
learning all that.
well, she's learning how to count still. So I mean, she has a good math skills, but she's still learning how to count.
I see.
Yeah, she says she can count to 82.
Oh, 82. Okay. That sounds good. And there's a picture of Lucy. Already a question here. What does Lucy look like? There she is right there. She's the one on the left. I'm the guy on the right. All right, let's move on. So, all right, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to take a look at last week, preview of next week. We're going to give you an update on our 2 to 5K trading room challenge. And then we're going to go out in the cornfield, have a little chat out there, talk about your challenges, why trade SPY, how we can help you. We're going to answer your questions. It is the fall, so we're spending a lot of time on the harvest, right, in cornfields and stuff. So, all right, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the Orlando Money Show is coming up in a couple of weeks. October 17th to the 19th, Aaron and I are going to be there at the Omni Orlando Resort at Champions Gate. Hope to see you out there. All right, we're going to be out there, I think, all 3 days, right? We're going to be doing some speaking on the stage and hanging out at the booth. And I don't know if any handouts at all this year. I'm not even sure if they have handouts or not, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll see you there hopefully. So, and also don't forget Spy on the Market. All right, free e-newsletter every Thursday comes into your inbox. If you are a subscriber, all you have to do is go to the website daytradespy.com, and when the pop-up comes up, just enter your email address and you will be on the list. All right, to get the Spy on the Market. Very easy read, just a couple of minutes, light, relevant, entertaining. And again, just go to the website daytradespy.com to subscribe. This week's topic is going to be acquiring patience. Acquiring patience, and we'll talk about that. So. All right, moving along here. Here's the week in review. Last week, this is what happened. Let's expand this chart. Here you go. See how I like to pull that in? I can push it back too. There you go. Like an accordion, right? Just go back and forth, back and forth. This is what happened Monday. Mixed manufacturing and services PMI reports, 2 reports. And the markets didn't really, couldn't find a real direction. Bounced up and down there in sort of in the range most of the day. Did close a little bit higher than it opened. Tuesday, we had lower than forecast Richmond Manufacturing Index and consumer confidence reports. Technical support was just over 569. As soon as it hit, actually came down around the mid 567 level, and the bulls ramped it up very quickly right there. And that too pushed it up higher than the open. And then we bounced around in pre-market, came down to test 570, back up in pre-market on the expectations of some pretty good numbers coming out here on Wednesday. Higher than expected new home sales, but there's also strong resistance at the mid 571 levels. I think we identified that, and it pushed the market right back down. Take a look at those long tails. These are hourly charts, by the way. In the afternoon, it kept it higher, but pre-market, post-market, getting into Thursday, we actually hit all-time highs, 575. Right at the, I think it was right around the market open on Thursday. Lower than expected unemployment claims kicked in and pending home sales, which was really good for, for inflation, right? But we had mixed durable goods orders. I believe one number was over the expected price, the other was under. I don't have the numbers handy here. Maybe I do. Hang on, let me see if I can find these guys here. This was on Thursday, right? Was this Thursday? Thursday. Last Thursday. Um, we had let me see, what was that? Durable goods orders. They were expecting month over month minus 2.8%. They came in at 0. But the core durable goods orders came in at 0.5. They're expecting a 0.1. Now, core is durable goods orders excluding transportation items. So one was really good, the other was sort of bad. And then we had also final GDP numbers, but it was all overshadowed by Powell's speech and some profit taking, tanked SPY right down from the 575. Usually when you get a new high like that, you're going to get a reversal, some profit taking kicking in, and move the SPY stock right back down around that lower 571s. Back up by the afternoon to close somewhere around 572 and a half, somewhere in there. Friday, we bounced around, ran up in pre-market, then dropped. Personal consumption expenditures was the big news there, lower than expected, but the uncertainty surrounding how quickly the Feds might move to cut rates in the future is probably what caused the markets to go down. Markets can handle good news, they can handle bad news, but it's the uncertainty they don't like, and they like to be, they like to be sort of certain as to where things are going to go. Expect continued bouts of volatility, likely in October. Overall, we are trending. Now there's still one more day in September. Normally, September is a weak month. It is, in fact, it's the worst month of the year. But this year, it appears to be running hotter, and it's going to be higher than normal. So, um, bit of an anomaly there. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, week in review, the S&P hit record highs again. Sort of riding the wave of optimism from the Fed's recent rate cut, I guess about a week and a half or so ago. Markets are still not seeing any meaningful market uncertainties due to the elections, although this is likely going to heighten closer to November the 5th uh, as the rhetoric builds up. The reality is markets do well regardless of who's in power. And here's the thing, if there's going to be a divided Congress, that is going to be actually good for the market because it limits the potential for any extreme policy implementations, which is really actually good now because we've got some very different kind of platforms that the candidates are presenting. And if they were to implement their platforms, it could wreak havoc on the markets. So, but if there's a divided house, nothing gets done, and the market's like that. All right, markets like that. They're going to take the cues from extended economic expansion and ongoing cycles of rising corporate earnings. That's really what's going to influence markets more than anything else. Volatility, right? Volatility tends to rise into the election. And here's a look at 6 months before and after election days. But this excludes the recessionary years, of which we had, about 7 here in the last little while here. 92, 96, 04, 12, 16, and 20 election years, the last six years that we went back here. So you can see how volatility rose getting into election day, and then right after that, it dropped. Things sort of stabilized, and that's kind of where that sits. As far as what happened this week, the S&P rose just 0.6%. Year to date, running at 20.3%. Nasdaq's doing a little bit better year to date, 20.7%, and the Dow is up 12.3% year to date. The Nasdaq rose 1% here this last week. I think a lot to do with Micron, their earnings and forecasts and whatnot in the whole AI world. So, all right, seasonal charts for those not familiar. The blue line at the top is where SPY is now. The red line here at the bottom is composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily chart. Let's just expand this as well. And let's actually zero right in on this to see where we sit. So if we go back to last week, SPY actually dropped on average over the last 5 years, 4 points over the last week. Seasonally, SPY rose about 5 points the following week. Now, bear in mind, this doesn't take into account, election years. I mean, I think there's one election year in here, but we're, if this continues the way it is right now, well, we'll see if we get an increase in SPY this week or not. So we'll see what happens. Here's what's coming up here in the week ahead. These are the things to look for on Monday. Chicago PMI report, but Fed Chair Powell also speaks. In fact, this week is going to be a very heavy week for all the Fed members. They're going to be speaking here, various events. Fed Chair Powell is going to be participating in a moderated discussion titled "A View from the Fed Reserve Board." This is going to be at the National Association for Business Economics annual meeting in Nashville. All right, but we also have other Fed members speaking. I think tomorrow, Fed member Michelle Bowman speaks. She's rather hawkish. She'll be talking about the economic outlook and monetary policy at the Georgia Bankers Association in Charleston. Who else we had? Actually, that's about it here for tomorrow. On Tuesday, we've got Institute for Supply Management and Manufacturing, PMI, JOLTS job openings, and also ISM Manufacturing Price Index. On Tuesday, we also had Fed members Bostic, Cook, Barkin, and Collins speaking at various events. Let's see, we also have total vehicle sales. That's not going to make any difference, really. That doesn't much matter. But these are the important items that are going to be moving the markets early on in the morning. All right. The final manufacturing PMI reports coming out at 9:30. 9:45, final manufacturing PMI report from from S&P Global. And then we've got the other news items at 10 o'clock. Coming up Wednesday, ADP, non-farm employment change. That's about it. We also had Fed members Hammock and Muslim report, also Bowman and Barkin speaking at various events on Wednesday. And I didn't get into who's who, hawkish or dovish, because they kind of balance each other out. Most of them are kind of in the middle there. And I'm finding that most of them are actually supporting the rate cuts now. And some would say that, well, I was hoping to hold out for 25 basis point, but they went 50, but that's not going to move the markets much. But what they say does actually kind of impact the markets a little bit. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims, S&P Global Services PMI, and also ISM PMI services report. Interestingly enough, on Thursday, so we have the final services PMI, the ISM PMI coming up after the S&P Global. They're different by about 15 minutes, but usually the S&P Global gives you a bit of a preview of what the ISM is going to be. They very much work in tandem, and the thing is now they're both coming out with numbers over 50, which is industry expansion, and that's kind of inflationary. So the S&P is reporting 55.4, whereas the ISM is coming in at 51.6. So two numbers to keep in mind. 50 is the magic line in the sand, also above or below their expectations. But I don't think anything's going to affect interest rates right now. At least we're not looking here until November. So it doesn't much matter, but they're still going to affect the market somewhat. No question about it. Friday, unemployment rate, hourly earnings, BLS, that is short for non-farm employment change. Hang on, what is that? That is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So some employment numbers coming in on Friday. Fed member Williams speaks on Friday as well. And the bottom line here, I'm expecting elevated volatility on Monday and Tuesday, and again Thursday and Friday. Moderate on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. All right. Folks, I expect markets to be a little choppy into the elections. We had this last couple of weeks, especially as traders assess whether good economic news is now good stock market news or if it remains flipped. Sometimes I'm seeing that it is good, and other times it's not so good. I think it's a question of how quickly the Fed members are going to be releasing their interest rate announcements. But I think we're good for a while here. So probably good news on the economy is going to be good news for the stock market, I'm guessing. But be very cautious. Take a wait-and-see approach if you can. All right, Daphne, we've named this wonderful lady Daphne. She says there are many opportunities that present themselves on a daily basis. and she's going to help show you uh, how to identify them and how to trade them. Oh, there she is. Look at those big eyes, Aaron. Look at that. Is she attractive or what? What do you think? Look at that. Look at that smile. How do they do that? Unbelievable. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway,
Artificial intelligence.
you think so?
Yeah.
Could be. Could be. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I like artificial intelligence. I haven't decided yet. Pretty soon they're gonna have, I don't know, they're gonna make, phony people into real people. People are gonna start having emotional connections to their avatars. So what I don't know where that's going, but kind of worries me that they could actually be, really, really, everything is artificial now, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is real anymore. Nothing is real. Just take a look at the ingredients in your food as you're walking up and down your grocery. I mean, I'm trying to stay right at the beginning of the store, where the produce, and
Yeah.
hopefully at least I get some of that real. But you
Yeah.
go down those middle aisles, oh my gosh, what is this stuff?
Yeah, there's a interesting documentary I heard. I think it's called C stands for cancer.
Yep.
C is for cancer. And Morgan Freeman is the gentleman that narrates it, with his deep voice. The C word, I think it's called the C word. Um,
Uh,
yeah, the C word. So talks about cancer and talks about where most of these cancers come from is actually the tobacco companies bought up a lot of these food processors, and then they started putting food additives in all the food. And it's interesting from what I hear. I haven't watched it, but I heard it's an interesting documentary.
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We live in a world where, preservatives and I don't know, things to make things taste good. And the way I look at it, if you can't read the ingredients, you sure don't want to probably eat it. Um, I had some words with my wife the other day. She goes and gets this garlic bread. And I said, I don't want to touch this. What'd you get this for? It's crap. I said, well, I like garlic bread. Well, we never made it. It's in the freezer. I'm gonna have to kind of get rid of it. I've had this kind of stuff before, and I hate it. It's all chemicals in there and stuff.
Yeah,
And I said, how about just getting a piece of bread and put it in the broiler and put some butter and real garlic on it? Isn't that kind of what you want to do?
yeah,
And so anyway, it's got nothing to do with trading, I know, but we get on different topics like this, and just trying to stay healthy as well. A couple nights ago, I actually had coffee with a buddy of mine. He was telling me how a mutual friend, his brother, I know this guy, his brother. I never met his brother, but he's out west somewhere. 61 years old, healthy as anything, always exercising, fit as anything, and 61 wasn't feeling well, diagnosed with leukemia. 2 days later, they're burying the guy. So
oh,
yeah, just went through them. So crazy. Anyway. All right, we're going to take a look at the 2 to 5K challenge. Notice how I was trying to kill time because I don't want to get into this. But I think the time is here, Aaron. We have to get into this. Our goal is to turn $2,000 into $5,000 by November the 5th. And we do this live in our morning trading room. So how do you make $5,000, Aaron? How do you make $5,000 in the stock market? You start with $10,000. You start with
oh yeah,
10,000.
exactly. That's right.
Well, it'd be funny if it wasn't so true in some days. But anyway, here's what happened this week. This is what happened. We actually took a hit several days ago for $946. And we decided that, you know what? We're not going to ride this down and hold overnight. Our aim is to get out of a trade kind of as quickly as possible. We actually had, let's put it this way, the market just didn't cooperate with us, or we didn't cooperate with the market, I should probably say. We just did not cooperate with the market, but we did take a hit right in here, and I thought that this is not good. So no, that's not it. This is the one right here, 946. That's the one I want to talk. But that's okay. We are working our way back up out of the soup, and we made $140 each of Thursday and Friday. So we are a little bit underwater. Our budget variance right now is 928 to the downside, but we're working our way out of the soup. All right. No worries. We have plenty of time. and have full intentions of hitting our target on this one. But right now we have $1,632 with which to work, and we changed our plans a little bit. We had some rules that were a little different than what we had before. So right now we've changed the rules a little bit. Instead of calls, we are actually looking at both calls and puts. Both calls and puts. So here's the rules. Of course, you're here to finish no later than November the 5th. We have to use a sim account by law to show you. But I do trade real money as well. Starting at $2,000, the idea is to ramp it up to 5K, trading only what is available in what would be a cash account. All right, again, check fundamentals, buy on technical breakouts, chart patterns, that sort of thing. Trigger on the 1-minute chart, expect reasonable gains. Well, right now we're trying to ramp up the gains to be more than we normally would if we were kind of under like within our target. So we're trying to get a little more aggressive. And this week I really want to get aggressive and get ahead of ourselves. Something else I added in here, we're going to trigger with compliance to Aaron's deep dive analysis. So I think it's fair to say here's what the situation was. We had a little conflicting opinions on where the stock should go, which is probably what caused the downstroke. Couldn't get a good read on the time frame on what Aaron was saying, but longer term, he was right, and I took a short term position to the upside, but it didn't go up to where I wanted to go. And found some resistance, came back down again. And later on in the day, the stock dropped. That was, I think, last, I don't know, Wednesday or something. So anyway, we're now looking with more eyes on the charts, more eyes on the deeper dive analysis in this thing, and a little more careful entries. And we're also looking at a little more patient exits as well, right? So that's what we're doing here. And also I've added this in here that even though we want to be done by 10:30, we may hold overnight and may also go till later on. The other day went till 10 to 11. And if we're on a roll there, we're going to go later. We're going to go till 11 o'clock. You don't have to be there. I know you got things to do and stuff, but if I see this thing is on a tear, it'd be foolish to just kind of wrap it up earlier rather than later, right? At least
Yeah.
not at this point. So, stick around, right?
Yes.
That's the objective here. No guarantees on anything. So, all right. So that's kind of where we're going with that. And I think Daphne approves of that too. So she's got
That's
that.
funny.
She's saying, oh, what a crazy woman that is. Folks, the 2 to 5K challenge, we do it in the trading room. There's no extra cost, no charge. You don't have to join any other clubs or anything like that, but that's what we do. And the trading room, this is what we do. Every morning, I told you this, a lot of new people on here, but we also have a lot of people who've heard this before. You got to be in the trading room. That's where it happens. And it's hosted by Aaron and myself every morning. We get together 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern. The doors open actually at about 9 o'clock, and you're going to hear music. Excuse me. You hear music, and if you don't hear music, check your software and your hardware. It's and if you don't hear music by 9:15, 9:20, it's not us, it's you. Okay. People always say it's not you, it's me. No, it would be you, not us, because we want to make sure. Now, if it is us, we will let you know it's us. And every now and then you do get, some technical issues, but we want to make sure that there's no technical issues going into the trading room session. Experience-wise, Aaron and I, we go back a long way with combined over 40 plus years experience. I got to tell you, I sure wish I had a couple guys that I could have learned from back when I started this. So what you're getting here is a lot of experience that you can draw on, and this is all we do. We don't do anything else. We don't, we don't have a job at a factory or a truck driver or something, and then we do this on the side. This is what we do right here. So you're actually drawing from the experience of huge experience in the markets. I don't think that's too much to ask when you have a mentor that, hey, what do you see here? How do you look at this? So these sessions are interactive, fully narrated, and the idea here is for you to learn and earn. This is not a watch you and Aaron trade show. It's not like, oh, let's just sit back and watch these guys. No, well, we happen to trade too, but we teach you what we do ourselves. We trade what we trade. We trade what we teach what we trade, right? Sessions, this is where our strategies come alive. We have different strategies that we use. We've got our out of the morning gate, ONG. We've got our scalping strategy. We've got our bread and butter strategy, and we've got I don't know, whatever other strategies we use here. But this is where we teach you exactly what's going on here. So if you can't make the recording the session live, they are recorded, and you can catch them later on. And again, 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern Time. This is the home of the highly acclaimed, internationally famous 2 to 5K challenge. They cost $6.99 a quarter, and 14-day money back guarantee. All right, 14-day money back guarantee. If anybody, I understand that somebody had an issue with their $6.99 per quarter, trying to get the deal. If you've had any issues with customer service like that, let me know, and I'll go in and rattle their chains on that and make sure that, unless something has changed that I don't know about, okay? I don't have any control over the price or anything. That's the powers that be. But as I understand it, I'm pretty sure that if there was an increase in price, I should have probably known about it, right? Unless you know about it, Aaron, and I just don't know, but I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't know about any
No.
increase in price.
I think it should, yeah. So I'll, if you have any issues on that, let me know, and I'll sort of see what I can do. But folks, you have to go to customer service at DayTradeSPY.com and ask for that. If you go to the website, I don't think that option is there. I think it's like, just under $4,000 for the year. Now you can go there and buy it, no problem. But if you want the better price, email customer service, all one word, customer service at DayTradeSPY.com. Ask for the special price on the trading room of $6.99 a quarter. And look, if you really don't like it in 2 weeks, just ask for your money back. No problem. You get your money back, right? All right, let's move along here. Why trade SPY options? Real quick primer for those who are new to options. Options SPY is actually the highest diversified stock out there. It's highly diversified, covers all the market sectors. Everything is covered in there. It's highly liquid. The fills are quick. You can actually trade $100,000 in a single trade, an at the money option. You're going to get filled. All right. That means there's tight bid-ask spreads. You're never going to be far off. You don't have to make a lot of money to make a lot of money in this business. Relatively predictable. We can go to those chart patterns and with a fair degree of accuracy determine where the stock is probably going to go in the next little while. I mean, that's really pretty cool. So we're not relying on, some CEO making some claims or how the stock reacted to a certain patent or something. And SPY covers all of that. It just really sort of smooths out all the rough edges, and it's actually quite predictable with the indicators that we use. It's also relatively forgiving. So if you do make a mistake in the short term, if you just kind of wait a little bit longer, it'll probably give you your money, no problem. I like it because it's also very affordable. It's the best traded instrument out there. It's just I can't see anything else that's better than SPY, especially if you're new to trading. If you're new to trading, you want to be very careful. Aaron, you talked about the penny stocks in the past, and I guess I did too. But I quickly learned that that's not a good moneymaker for me. I don't know how you did with penny stocks, but
Oh, you can definitely go up a lot and then go down a lot. It's volatile. I would say it's easy to get into because it's low cost to entry, but you definitely have to know what you're doing and follow the news with the different penny stocks. And some of the penny stocks end up joining the regular stock market and becoming regular companies. So you have to follow that too and cut your losses. So it is a kind of a wild ride, but you can make money and you can lose money.
then the thing with penny stocks is pump and dump. I don't know if you want to explain this pump and dump, Aaron. If you want to take 30 seconds and explain it, this way I can turn the air conditioning off. Just
Well, it's the same thing with low float stocks, and there's actually somebody that got in trouble for that recently in the trading room, because he was talking about they're calling out low float stocks. Basically, when you have a certain number of shares and then everybody buys it, it'll raise the price. If we said, okay, buy, XYZ solar stock, and it went through the roof. And then I start taking my profits before I tell everybody else to sell. That's against SEC guidelines and against FTC. But with the SPY, it doesn't really work that way because the SPY is all, 500 of the largest companies. It's an ETF. We're trading options on it. We can't really, unless, there's a market maker or somebody listening to what we're saying, we can't really move market that big.
The thing with penny stocks is you can find these things, and I can find one and start loading up my my account with many over the course of time, right? Buy these penny stocks for a dime, 15 cents, 20 cents, something like that. Just buy a little at a time until I accumulate a ton of this stuff, right? And then I can come on to one of these sessions as an example, or one of the Wednesday night sessions or something, or send out an email or something. Say, hey, listen, guys, I heard about this one company. I don't know. I think it's going to go up, and I just I don't know. They're coming out with something new or something, and spin some story around it, some narrative. Well, what do you think is going to happen, Aaron? Every night, tomorrow morning, the first thing you do, they're going to load up and buy that stock that I recommended, right?
Mhm.
And doing so, they are raising the price. So when that stock that I bought for 10 cents, 15 cents now hits $1 or $2, guess who's selling? Me.
Mhm.
Me. I just took all your money. And you're saying, look at that. He's so smart. He was right. It did go up. It's insane. Now, I wouldn't do that. It's illegal. It's immoral. It's against all the rules. I'm here for the long run. You know, I don't need somebody exercising their Second Amendment on me.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna find this guy and shoot him. He stole our money. Except in this case, I think I'd have an army against me. It wouldn't just be one guy. Everybody was saying, "We're gonna find
Yep.
this." Anyway, that's the thing with penny stocks. Now, if you get into the right, yeah, but what is that right time? You know that there's just a lot of pump and dumping going on with that. And I stay with that. Stay with quality, right? Quality is the best place to be. It's always the case. It's like that with everything, it seems like. You want to buy a crappy car, you can get it for cheap. Well, guess what? It's going to break down on you. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. Or pay the money and get a really good car. Get a really good car, or in same, clothes, everything. Anyway, let's move on here. That's why we day trade SPY options. So, all right. So let's see the cornfield chat. What do you want to chat about? Okay, let's take a look at some questions here. Okay. Do you want to ask these questions? You want through the questions, Aaron, or what? I
Uh,
think you had to go a little
you
bit
guys have
more.
been through a lot, but I don't see any gray hairs. What's your secret? I'm not sure.
Ah, who said that? Oh, what
Rod.
gray hair, really? Who's
Well, I do have a few gray hairs. I
who's
think that's
who's
because of recent events, but
who
nothing trading related.
who is that person that's asking that? Guys? Oh, that's Rod. I thought maybe he's in the wrong webinar because this gray hair. First of all, this hair, I'm going to tell you about this hair. There's a little history behind this hair. It used to be brown and lots of it. I was pretty hot in my day. Well, probably more in my imagination than real. But anyway, my daughter decides she wants to go to Thailand to teach English as a second language. Alexis. Now you have to understand, my daughter, she was never a traveler. She never had that travel in her. So we used to tease her. She'd be off, packing up from Buffalo to go see her friend in Rochester, which is an hour down the road. We would kid her, "Oh yeah, who's your travel agent?" But so I didn't believe it that she's actually going until, we're driving her to the airport. And oh, you're really going? Yes, Dad. Here's tickets in my hand. And wow, whole new culture, new language, new everything. And she loved it. She loved it. But you can imagine me, right? I'm just wondering here. One night in Bangkok, all these crazy things and stuff. Anyway, that's where my hair turned white. Then she came back and said, "Oh, I'm going to go teach English as a second language in Peru." Peru. Why Peru? Why? Well, Colombia. Of course, I'm thinking of Escobar and all these guys, right? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh no, no, she's 20 or 21 or whatever. She knows everything, right? I know nothing. Well, that's where I lost a lot of my hair, Aaron. That's where I lost it. That's where this head of hair is gone because of that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So
Makes sense.
anyway. Uh, Okay, who said that? Rod said that. Okay, just scroll through here. I'm going to be honest with you here. The longer the text messages, the longer it takes to read. We'll sort of skip over them. We're trying to get to the short ones first. And what's the prognosis for future highs, further highs that can still go up just because it hit a high? When I think we had already something like 42 highs this year. All right, and into the elections, we could still see more highs. And then I think things may settle down a little bit for a while. Um, I I don't know how many highs we had when Trump was president. I knew this at one time. I kind of forgot. Let me just see, pull that up real quick. If you want to get the next question, I can find out the answer to this here. Uh, how many highs did the stock market make during Trump years? I thought it was like 100 and something. It was 126 new all-time highs during Trump's presidency.
Wow.
126 new all-time SPY. 120. That's amazing. So
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
that's a lot. So yes, the question could go. All right. So yeah, here's a question here. Okay, yeah, I had a question coming earlier from somebody. Pick of the day. I say things like, okay, so let's say the pick of the day is a call option. And the objective is when the stock is when you're seeing the pressure to the upside right at that market open, you want to jump in right then. And I think the question was, well, I'm seeing green, but then that 1 minute candle turns red and closes red. Should we wait for the 1 minute candle to close? The answer is no. No, don't wait. Well, you need to wait. Wait a few seconds for the bid-ask spread to settle in nice and tight. And that's especially true if you have a wide open gap from where it closed yesterday, okay? Because sometimes you'll see maybe a 10, 20 cent, whatever, 5 cent, even a 5 cent gap between the bid and the ask. Wait a few seconds until that comes down to like a 2 or 3 cent gap, then make the buy. Now, if it's a call and you're seeing the pressure to the upside, just buy it then. Doesn't mean it's going to necessarily close up, it can go down, but and same if it's a put. If you're seeing if the pick is a put and you're seeing the pressure to the downside, buy it right then, right? We're trying to take advantage of that initial move, so you don't have to wait for the candle to close. Um, but try not to chase it up. If you chase it up, what happens is this: um, the options all outbid each other to get to the top, and you'll find that at some point it's going to hit resistance and pop back down. You don't want to be the person paying the highest price for it. Let's say the stock is up here and you paid I don't know $3 or something for that option, and then it goes down, and then the stock goes back up to the same level it was where that option was $3, except your option is no longer $3. It might be 280 or something. It's not going to go back to where it was in that initial run up. So the trick is, get it early on, but don't be behind the eight ball with that. What I mean is, if you see the bid ask say 280, 285, and you put in 285, and then it comes back, well, now it's 288. So then you change your order to 288, and then it comes back, it's now 290. You keep chasing it up. Well, eventually you're going to get it. But when are you going to get it? When it's coming back down again, right? So what you want to do is you want to be ahead of the game. So let's say it's, 280, 285, and you see the pressure moving up. So here's the trick. Instead of putting your bid for what did I say, 285, 280, 285, put your bid for 287 or 288. Go a couple cents higher, right? And you're thinking, well, that's kind of against what I want to do. Actually not, because you're going to get it at that price. Now, you're going to get it for either, the limit that you put in, say 287, or lower, depending on the market price at that moment in time. But if the price is going up, you want to make sure you're at the front of the line with your order and you grab it. And then as it continues up, let's say you got it for 287, then it continues up, 288, 290, 295, $3. You're at the front of that, you have the option now. You're writing it up with the option rather than trying to chase it up. So if that makes any sense. Anyway, next question. Any questions there in here? What do you got here?
Let me see.
Okay.
Um, Will Middle East affect SPY? I don't know if you answered that one.
No, I didn't answer it. If you want to take it.
Well, I mean, of course, the Middle East will affect SPY. I mean, they obliterated the Hezbollah leader in a bunker, so that's probably actually good news. So you might actually let me see the futures. The futures I think are actually pointing up overnight. They opened up near the close from yesterday. Oh, sorry, not yesterday. The close on Monday, Friday. They opened up below the close and then quickly filled that and continued higher. So the actual the initial news from that is, or the initial idea is actually bullish for the market, and crude oil actually went down. But I would say, you wanna see what the market thinks about the coming news this next week. Also, there's today, well, not today, but tomorrow's the last day of the month. So the market could have some wild swings because it's the last trading day of the month. Usually see that on the last trading day of the month into Tuesday, which is the first trading day of the month. So some places have to close positions and balance books, things like that, for monthly trading. So we also have Fed Chairman Powell speaking at 1:55. So that's going to throw in another wrench into the equation.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of factors playing into it. All right. Let's see questions here. How did the pick of the day go last week? I don't know. I don't have the numbers. I think it went all right. I'm not sure. But there's a question here concerning this is from John S. He says, "Hello, you." Hi, John. I came across your YouTube videos last week. It's my first time participating. Welcome. Welcome, John. Welcome, everybody. I would like to forecast a reasonable expectation of your system. What's the average win and lose amounts? I hear about 40% stop loss. That sounds crazy and take a lot of wins at 2 to 3% to recover. Okay, so we have to have exits on our trades. Now, personally, I don't use stops. Only once in a while if I really, really I'm not a stop loss kind of a guy. There are other ways of managing our positions. I don't take losses easily. So when we get into our trades, these are generally very high probability trades. Okay, they're very high probability trades. Now, options, okay, the market doesn't go in straight lines up or down. It zigzags, and sometimes it actually turns against you before it goes up in your direction. And very often, in fact, some of those trades that we've had in the last, I want to say, few weeks that might have had a stop loss of a 40% stop. Many of those trades, had you held overnight, like what we talked about in the trading room, they would have hit the target. They would have hit the target the next day. Now, I don't have these comments up here because I didn't expect to address these, but I'm going to take a look and see if I can find some of the comments that we had in the trading room. And I don't remember if it was here it is right here. If it was, and I can't show you, the exact comments here because of the privacy, right? Because people's names come up. But I can read them out to you. This was on Thursday. So on the Wednesday, we may have been stopped out. I can't remember. But we talked about holding on, and the market was going to go, I can't remember which way, up or down or whatever. Aaron identified this longer term trend, whichever way it was. I think it was to the upside. And those people that, took heed and held on, they did very, very well. And these, so I can read you some of these. Let me just read you some of these comments here. Aaron, I don't know if, you know what, and maybe if you don't believe me, you should, hang on a second. I'm going to see if I'm going to send this to Aaron right now because he can attest to this right now that this is in fact forward, Aaron. I mean, it was an awesome day, and I truly mean that to be awesome. It's not a word I like to use freely, even though it's one of those words that's just seems to have taken hold. I like to say things like when I find myself saying awesome, I say things like, well, it's not really awesome. It's just like really good. All right. From Don R. Holy, these are unsolicited, folks. These are all unsolicited comments from our trading room last Thursday. And what I might do is I might actually just go and blank out the names, and then bring them out into the PowerPoint next
Yeah.
Sunday or something. We could probably
Yeah,
do
we
that.
can't talk about actual dollar amounts that people make you, but we can talk about, how many points that they made.
Well, I know we can't use them as with their names, but I think we can still say dollar amounts. I don't know how much they're trading.
Yeah, we
And
can't say dollar amounts. Mhm. We can't say
we
dollar
can't.
amounts without knowing how much they were trading.
Okay, so there's some of these dollars. They're in the thousands of dollars, folks. Thousands of dollars. But here we can say how much they made. Bob B picked up $1.19 on yesterday's calls, which is huge. So he had $1.19 profit. For those who know what options are, that's a lot of money. John S is pick of the day. He held overnight. Pulled out 23.7% gain. Brian Z. Um, Not to pour salt in the wounds, sold my own personal call trade yesterday for a gain of $2.03. Done for the day. Thank you both for coaching over many months. Wow, some of these dollar amounts are huge. Steve S picked up okay, a huge dollar amount. I can't say that. Here's Rod T. He got 22.5% gain. Let me see here. Jim A got 25% gain right at the market open for holding on. Robert M, $1.06 on yesterday's calls. I mean, some of these numbers are just, John S is trade number two, picked up 10%. It goes on. Monty got 6% on the OMG. Um, Let me see. Wow, some of these numbers are huge. Can I just say, I think if we tell them how many call options there, I think we can do that. I think Jason McKay, I think I can say he made $12,000 on 60 contracts from yesterday's calls. Do the math on that. It's amazing. So I'm just giving you an example here so if you hold overnight. So you don't need that stop loss. You got to kind of use your own discretion whether you really want to get taken out or not. Now, a lot of new people, they really like stops. So we say, okay, if you insist on a stop, then put 40% in or something, and at least you'll preserve some of your capital. However, wow, Betty D, she did extremely well. Mike, a lot of these people did amazing here. Atiba picked up 13 cents, which is really pretty good too. Anyway, it goes on and on. So,
Well, I do want to say that the stop losses are there to protect you in the pick of the day service.
yeah.
And majority, I think to answer his question, we usually have about 90 to 94% winners depending on the month for the pick of the day service. Something, near that, just depending on the month. So
Yeah.
that's how you pick up those 6% gains a few times, and then you might have very, very rarely you have a 20, sorry, a 40% loser,
Oh,
but
very rare, very rare.
it just depends. Um, you know,
All right, let's go on to the 2-minute tutorial. You review the pattern day trade rules, PDT rule. I don't have 25K in my account. This comes up every now and then. A lot of new traders have this problem. They don't discover until it's too late, and the broker suspends them for 3 months. They tell them to go sit in the corner or sit on their hands. You're not trading with us. But you put the dunce hat on. No. So here's what it works. This is a rule that is designed to protect yourself, especially new people, from that gambling tendency, right? You just want to get in and gamble, gamble, gamble. They want you to learn something before you do this, so you understand the risks and you don't blow up your accounts. Um, so I understand that this rule, and I don't know how true this is, but this rule came into being because somebody did blow up their account, and they went into one of those firms where you can go in and trade or something. I'm not sure, and he came in with a gun and blew everybody out. I don't know. Anyway, so here's the thing: if you have less than 25,000 in your account, For example, you don't have to trade it all. I don't even know if it has to be in your trading account, but like with Schwab, if you have 25,000 with Schwab and all their accounts, you can trade. Okay. Uh, but if you have less than that, you are limited to only 3 round trip trades in a 5-day rolling period. Buy first, then sell. Buy first, then sell. Buy first, then sell. You can do all 3 in the same day, or you can do one day and the 2 the next, whatever. But in a 5-day rolling period, you can only do 3 of these. Okay. Now, so here's the thing: if you're making money, this should be of little concern because you should be adding to your account and depending, of course, on how much you need to ramp it up, at some point you should have your $25,000, right? So that should not be a big concern to you at that point. If you are losing money, that pattern day trade rule is actually there to protect yourself. What they want you to do really is to calm down a bit. Go back to paper trading. Any reputable broker out there is going to have a paper trade account. Although Tasty Trade, I don't think has one yet. I talked to Tom about that a while ago. So, oh yeah, we got to do that. We got to do that. It seems like it's low on his priority list, but it doesn't matter. Tom Sosnoff, he can do whatever he wants because he's Tom Sosnoff. And he wrote Thinkorswim. He also wrote Tasty Trade. And he did a really good job of it. But I kind of wish there was a paper trade account for Tasty. But anyway, there isn't. For Thinkorswim that we use, there is, right? And any other reputable program is going to have a paper trade. Go back to your SIM account. Go back and learn on your SIM account. Make all your mistakes there, right? So, I mean, that's really what it's designed to. So here's a couple things I'm going to recommend here. There's others, but number one, be aware of the rule. And if you are, if you do go over, be aware. Don't go over. Don't go over that. I think if you break the rule, you'll get a good faith violation or something. If you're trading, out of that. And I believe the firm depends on the company, on the firm, but generally, I think with Tasty Trade, if you get you're allowed 3 good faith violations in 1 year. If you get the 4th one, then they lock you up for 90 days, right? Go to jail. You're going to jail for 90 days. You don't get out of jail free card. Anyway, that's that. And the other thing is, if you use a cash account, you're not going to be subjected to that. Now, firms don't really like to give cash accounts because they actually make a lot of their money by lending you on margin. That's really where the big money comes from. But if you push hard enough, they will say, okay, fine, I'll give you a cash account, which enables you to trade as much as you want as long as you have your balance covered in cash. And that's not so bad. In fact, that's what we talk a lot about. Just go in a cash account. If you've got $5,000, you can trade all you want as long as you have $5,000 to cover. You have to wait until the next day until your trades settle. So you trade today, right? You buy something, you sell it. You have to wait until the next day until the money comes into your account. Excuse me, until your trade settles. Do not trade that. Let's say you made $100 on your $5,000 account. You can't go back and trade $5,100 that same day. You can't trade until the next day. Then you can trade $5,100. So it's actually a very simple kind of a concept, and it's there to protect you, and that's really what it's all about. All right, we're pushing 9 o'clock now. Any other quick questions here, Aaron, that we should get to, or I'll call it a day? I didn't want to stay too long, but let's just kind of real quick. What do you have here?
So it depends. Let me just respond to a gentleman. It depends on the month. The pick of the day can have some losers. This last month was a very volatile and difficult month to trade. There was a lot of washing out in both directions in the actual sessions. So the market has been up, but there's been a few sessions where it would break to the upside or gap up to the upside, then it would retrace down. It would gap up to the upside, then it would retrace down. And there was a lot of playing in ranges near major resistance. So to answer your to comment on your comment, Mike G, is that the market has been up. The pick of the day has worked fairly well and consistently. This last month, there has been some losers, but we don't anticipate that to continue as we are making some adjustments to that. But in general, the pick of the day has worked extremely well.
Okay. Here's a comment here. I should have my challenge trade should have been 372 instead of 373 because 372 was the amount that you stated you placed the exit for, and someone's placed the same exit order and were filled at that price. Well, I got filled for 373 on that one here, Jeff, and I think this time I'm going to take the 373 on that one. I like to be conservative and all that, but every now and then the market does throw you a really good bone, and this time I'm going to take it and use that. And many times too, I always take the worst case scenario, but I'm taking the one that actually gave it to me, which so gives you. So when you put in a sell order, it's gonna give you the limit order or market, whichever the order is the better for you. Okay. So sometimes you are going to sell for more than what you put a limit order for, and you're going to get the limit order or more or higher. Okay, just like when you buy an option, sometimes well, most of the time you're gonna get what you bought it for. Like they're gonna take whatever you bought it for, your limit order, but sometimes you're gonna get it purchased for a little bit less than what you expected. Now, if it's really crazy less for an obvious error in the system, but when you're a penny or two off, then that's probably a very legit that's a very legit trade. So if I made a penny more, that I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. So, all right. Let's see, Eric. Can we review the strategies prior to the call? Do you have these documented somewhere? I think we have these strategies documented somewhere. I think when you join the trading room, Aaron, I think you do get some sort of a video or something, don't you, talking about what we do? Or
Yes, you do get
something.
a intro to day trade spy cheat sheet, I believe. It kind of gives you an introduction
Yeah.
of the different strategies that we trade.
Yeah. Okay. What's the average win, average lose amounts? Uh, yeah, I don't have the numbers, John. What we do is we teach you. Uh, we make money. The average wins. I mean, it depends on the strategy. We look for say on the OMG, we look for 6% gain. Now, we also teach you how to make a lot more than that if you just follow certain indicators that we identify. And some people are doing a lot more than 6%. Other people are a little more conservative. They're happy with 3 or 4%. A lot of it has to do with your own risk tolerance, your own capitalization, your understanding of our system, and even your understanding of the market. I mean, I could show you, I can show you a chart and ask you, is the market going up or down? And you could see, well, it's a green candle, so it's going up. But if I go back 3 minutes, you'll see that the candles are pushing down, that they were higher. You'll say, well, longer term going back 3 minutes, it's going down. If I go back, 10 minutes, we could be on an uptrend. So even the interpretation of what the market is doing right at this point in time is subject to interpretation, right? So we'll see. All right, one or two more quick ones, and then we're out of here.
Michael R has a good comment. Gentlemen, I've now been in the trading room for 4 weeks, 20 trading days. I segregated 20,000 on the trades. I only trade 20% at any time. So he's trading $4,000 at any time, sounds like. The goal is to double the 20%, 4,000 every 20 days of trading. I did that in 10 days. I did it again in 5 days. I did it again in 5 more days. Started at 20,000, pulled 15,000 out of the account, increased the trade balance to 26,000 with the current trade level at 5,200 for a total gain for the month of $21,000. That's amazing.
There you go. Let's repeat that slowly so maybe people can write this down. Gentlemen, I have now been in the trading room for 4 weeks, 20 trading days. I segregated 20,000 for the trades, but I only traded 20% at any time. So I think you're right. That's $4,000. The goal is to double the 20% or $4,000 every 20 trading days. I did that in 10 days. Then I did it again in 5 days. Then I did it again in 5 more days. Started at 20,000, and he pulled 15 out of the account, increased his trade balance to 26,000 with the current trade level at 5,200. Total gain for the month, $21,000. It sounds a lot like he's using my trading plan because that's what my trading plan is very much in line with what he's doing. So that's what we like to do. We have a spreadsheet, and people who take our course and whatnot, they have access to the spreadsheet. And certain times we have the spreadsheet that we hand out. Depends on the course and stuff. So if you plan your trades, trade your plan your whole trading career, this is what you can do. No doubt he's obviously planning here. So all right. Okay. All right. Anyway, it's 9:07. Okay. Let me see. No problem. That's way to go, Michael. That's congratulations on that here. Scott P, I like his comment here. My advice to all the naysayers is to give the trading room a try. Comes with a money back guarantee. He's up more than 18,000 after 3 weeks. Man, you guys are hot. You guys are great. And that is actually awesome. Congratulations. He's up $18,000, more than $18,000 after 3 weeks. Now, again, I don't know how much he's trading. Okay. So to be clear, I mean, if Scott's trading $50,000, that's different, right? Then it's like, okay, well, but so I don't know how much he's trading, but obviously he's got a good point. Try the trading room. If you don't like it, you get your money back. All right. So there's a money back guarantee. Anyway. Aaron, I think with that, we're going to call it a night here. It is actually 9:08, and it's been fun, but we're done. Been a pleasure. The recording's going to be available, I think, next couple of days. Thank you all. Thank you, Aaron. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
And there ain't no stopping now. You're the one. Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all.
Say that again.